On Friday, May 10th, WSAZ lead meteorologist Tony Cavalier visited the Minford local school district. He came to honor our own Ann Cottle as the hometown hero, an award received by outstanding members of the community. And while here, he also spent time touring the building and talking to staff and students alike. We had the rare chance to flip the script for the reporter and ask him a few questions of our own for the broadcast. Hi, welcome to the Minford broadcast. I'm here with Tony Cavalier, the lead meteorologist from WSAZ. You know, the news channel that's on your TV every night. Now, Tony, we are just going to ask you a couple questions about your job. How did you get your start in, news, weather, all that sort?
When I was young, as in like 10 years old, I had this fascination with the weather. And I couldn't wait for the ponds to freeze over because I was a huge hockey fan. And I wanted to be a professional hockey player. Well, God didn't give me that body, right? So the bottom line is I couldn't wait for the weather to get cold and snow in the winter. So I had an inclination, and my dad saw the fact that meteorology, the study of weather, might be an interesting way for me to take my talents. I was really good at math and science, and maybe to make that into a career. He knew I wouldn't be a professional hockey player. I didn't know, but he gave me that idea for a backup, and well, the rest is history.
Yeah. How long have you been working at your job?
I've been at WSAZ 35 years. So when people like you say, when you broke into television, well, you weren't around yet.
Yeah, I was not alive. Now, what would you say your favorite part of your job is?
Definitely the favorite part. There are two. One is getting the forecast right. Correct. I mean,
yeah.
Because the worst thing is the opposite is when the forecast goes wrong. And coming out to schools like Minford and meeting people, which is what television's about, not just about doing the weather or the sports or the news. It's interacting with people and hopefully having a positive effect on them. And certainly meeting them has a positive effect on you.
Yeah, I've certainly enjoyed that as part of my school's broadcast team. Any advice for an aspiring news person? Give us tips, we need them.
Well, you recognize that there's going to be a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
I mean, and
the amount of time I've spent editing. So
stay up to date with the new technology. You mentioned editing. I have a little hand camera here. That's how I shoot my stories. Now I'll have to take this back, download the video, look at the video, write a story to the video, then edit the video. And the editing part is the most challenging for me. And so stay up to date on the latest in the industry. And if you have a passion for it, well, then go for it.
Yeah. What made you interested in our prom?
Okay, it was an email from the prom committee that went to Sarah Sager, who's our female news anchor. And she put out, hey, this might be an interesting story. So everybody at the news channel, you are always looking through emails like that. And I saw a Star Wars theme at a prom. And I said, okay, great dresses, beautiful women, guys in tuxes. And by the way, there's a Star Wars theme. And I said, that might make an interesting story. Spurred an idea in my mind that this might make an interesting story.
Yeah. Now, one last question from me personally. Since you were kind of on the topic for it, can you maybe give this broadcast team some pointers on what could potentially make an interesting story? Like, what do you consider newsworthy?
Take yourself away from the mainstream. Think of your viewers. In this case, your mom, your dad, the fire department, Mr. Peak, and anybody. What would be interesting to them? So you have to get the pulse beat of a viewer. And you edit the pictures. When you guys were walking through the hallway, the ceiling, the Minford, what do they call it when they write everything on the wall?
Mural?
The mural, and the guy that was bouncing the soccer ball.
You got to have something eye-catching.
Eye-catching.
Even in the B-roll.
No question, that's what sells a story.
Well, thank you so much.